We'll open up with Coach Muschamp. Just opening remarks. Raise your hand. We'll get your microphone. We'll move along pretty quickly tonight with the time and get the Florida players in here as quick as we can.
Well, I credit our fans. It was in a great environment, and we certainly made it interesting. You know, offensively, I felt like in the first half we battled some field position issues and 2 third downs, drop balls that are conversions on third down. Third down, they pressured us, I would probably say 90% of the time, bring in 5 or more. And we had some open throws. We didn't hit on them. We had 4 or 5 shots in the game. We missed down the field. But we felt like, you know, all night we were running the ball pretty well, and the move and the change as far as running the ball, we stayed very balanced. I don't know what our running totals ended up, but they were pretty good, I knew, at some point. DeMarcus Robinson played very well at the receiver position. The guy's obviously a playmaker and can win a lot of one-on-one battles. You know, Jeff had 3 or 4 dropped in the first half. We had 2 busted protections on third down where we didn't slide to the right guy. We had the right protection. We overslid twice, and a guy 94 slipped us inside and got 2 good hits on Jeff. Jeff got hit pretty hard in that first half. Second half, again, we moved the ball well. We missed the field goal. We could have made it a 6-point game at that time. But I thought offensively we stayed balanced in what we wanted to do. We had some opportunities down the field we've got to cash in on vertically down the field. But I thought we did some nice things defensively. We just, you know, just got to cover better. Bottom line, that's my responsibility, and we'll improve on it. We busted a coverage on the jailbreak and goal on their sideline. I thought Duke Dawson had great coverage on a third down throw. Their kid made an outstanding play. A guy got on top of Jabari at one time. So we just got to tie some things up in the secondary. They had 6 big plays for 173 yards, and when you play a team that's going to be willing to throw the ball vertically that much, there's going to be some 50-50 balls. We need to play the ball better. In some situations we didn't, and that was very frustrating. But you know, the positive of it, it's a very adverse game. There's going to be games like that when you play in our conference, and you've got to find ways to win those games. And our guys found a way to win the game. So that's a huge positive, and to show some resiliency and fighting through adversity and all of the positives in that. A lot of things certainly to be corrected. I thought Kyle punted well. You know, we had a situation there coming off the goal line late, a little miscommunication with myself and the official. I thought the throw may have been from the end zone, which would have been a safety. I wanted to hold the clock, and I said, hold the clock or I'm going to call timeout. We need to review this. In a lot of those situations, they're going to hurry up. A timeout was called on a dead ball, which shouldn't have been called, so I need to communicate that better to the official in that situation. But again, our guys, you know, we put ourselves in a position with the interception at the end of the regulation, and offensively I thought we executed well to get it. We wanted to milk it down to 3 seconds. I told Rope on the headsets, let's get it to the 35 and we'll have a shot to win this thing. And Austin had the leg and just pushed it a little bit, but I thought he hit the ball well. So again, a lot of things to go back and watch the tape and improve on, but you know, proud of our players in the adversity, and certainly our fans were amazing. As far as injuries, I don't think anybody. I think Rod Johnson had some cramps late. I don't think that was anything from an injury standpoint. I know it was cramps. C.J. Wharton broke his hand this past week. He'll be in a cast for 2 to 3 weeks. And other than that, I think we're pretty clean as far as I knew leaving the locker room. And I'll open up for any questions.
Jeff up front.
Well, I want to ask you about a couple of plays. The first touchdown in overtime, it looked like maybe the ball didn't get off. What was going through your mind there? I mean, it must have been a lot of pressure.
There was earlier in the drive, we called a play that was in a bad look for what they had been doing out of the same look all night. So we wanted to call timeout. We didn't want to run it into the bad look. Actually, it was a protection. So we called timeout, so you only have one timeout in the overtime period. We didn't have a timeout. We had a little miscommunication on where we set the formation strength. We were able to get lined up. That goes back to your hats off to an experienced quarterback that was very calm under the situation, got everybody aligned. And I certainly know that our officials would have, blown it dead on us if it had not gotten off in time. So we were able Jeff took the ball to the right spot, and DeMarcus went up and made a nice play, and that would be the summary I have of the play. It was pretty nice, actually.
And also, the second overtime, before you kicked the field goal, the play right before that, it looked like DeMarcus was wide open.
He should have hit him earlier in the down. There's no question. Absolutely. I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Is that something that Jeff really,
a lot of times on that sort of, route combination, sometimes the picker comes free. I don't know. I haven't talked to Jeff specifically about the play other than just told him, hey, we had the guy open early. Let's go put the ball on him. And we should have. Mm-hmm.
Zach,
Coach, you mentioned in your opening remarks just about the O-line. It seemed like they had some struggles tonight just with pass protection, maybe picking up blitzes. How much of that had to do with maybe any of the shuffles that you guys had to make? How much of it was what Kentucky was doing?
Well, they were running some +1 pressures. So in situations where we were in 6-man, they brought 6 or 7. And they were green dogging, which we call adding on the linebacker when the back was protecting. They did a nice job. So you don't have a hat for that one. But that creates one-on-ones outside. The first third down on the first drive, same situation. Jeff gets splattered off an add-on from the linebacker. It turns out to be a 6-man pressure. You're in a 6-man protection, and you're creating a one-on-one. So in that situation, Pitt's got to make that play. Situation with DeMarcus on our sideline in the second quarter keeps a drive alive in the red zone. Same situation. They brought 7 in a 6-man protection. They're going to have a free hat at the quarterback. But when you got to make teams pay when they do that, and we didn't do that enough tonight. We had a couple shots down the field where we maxed the protection. We went to a 7-man protection, and we had a double move outside that we threw out of bounds that I think DeMarcus would have brought in if we had given him a chance. We had a situation with Quentin on the post that was overthrown. We're just a little off on some of the deep balls down the field. You hit a couple of those balls, it changes how they play. We didn't hit those balls. Now, with all that being said, we ran the ball extremely well. And we were able to create a lot in the run game. But certainly, with some of the things they were bringing, it wasn't that they weren't pressuring a lot with 4. It was 5+. In a lot of situations, when you're in a 6-man protection and they bring 7, you don't have somebody. You've got to be able to hot the ball, which we were able to on the third down late in the game. When it was a 20-20 tie to Pittman, we were just short of the fourth down. With their field goal kicker, he had kicked a 53-yarder the week before. I wasn't going to put ourselves in a situation where we didn't convert. They gained 10 yards and they're in field goal range. That wouldn't have been very smart on our part. So we wanted to change the field, flip the field, which we did, had them banged on the 1-yard line, and we're just soft in coverage on third down. I mean, that's really stupid, and that's on me. We'll get it corrected.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you had concerns of the secondary coming into the year. Some of them came to light tonight. What did you see from the sidelines of what some of the issues were?
Well, I just, a little bit of an issue of communication, of being on the same page, and they created the tempo off the deep ball they completed on their sideline. We get caught in a substitution. They hit us on the screen and go on that sideline. We obviously had a miscommunication. Nobody was near the kid. So those are things we've got to continue to work through and work through our package. We got to play some more split safety and roll up outside and not create as many one-on-one matchups outside. But our guys had opportunities to make plays on the ball. We got to make some of those plays as well.
And lastly, can you just talk about Poole and Neal, how they played despite the rough night in the secondary?
Well, no, I think that Keanu ended up with 2 interceptions, I believe, and he's overlaps. You can see him cover a lot of ground. But again, we need to communicate better on the back end, and that starts at the safety position. I thought Jabari did a nice job for the most part. Brian, had a huge play on the third down in the third overtime, to knock the ball off the guy. I mean, that's a 50-50 ball. I know from the stands that looks easy. That's a really hard thing. It's a hard task to do some of the things we ask those guys to do. And I thought he really stepped up and played well at times. And certainly he would have liked to have had a couple plays back. But the way we play, that's where the ball's going to fall, and you got to go make those plays.
All the way in the back, and then Kevin, all the way in the back.
Coach, 21 targets to Robinson. How much of that was game plan coming in? How much of it was just feeding the hot hand?
Well, feeding the hot hand, game plan, certainly he's going to be a huge part of it. But the other part of it is the way they played us. When they started maxing, you create a one-on-one matchup outside. A lot of times we go to Jeff and just say, go with the matchup you like. And he likes that matchup, and we do too.
Kevin in the middle.
Coach, how critical was it? It seemed like you went back to Matt Jones in overtime, when things got tough. How critical were some of his tough yards, throughout the game, and particularly throughout overtime that you
Well, just an inside run game. Matt pushes the pile. He's 235 pounds, and he ended up with about 150 or so yards rushing, and a lot of that was second contact yardage. So when you're able to get a guy inside the power and the counter and the inside zone, and he's able to lean forward, he's going to get you 4 yards. And then we, for the most part, we got a hat on the hat in the run game.
Nick, over to the right.
Matt Jones ended up with almost double the carries of Kelvin Taylor, but until about the fourth quarter, they had the same. Did that kind of keep him fresh in the fourth?
Well, again, I think that there's no question when you get into that situation, you go with what's working, and the inside run game was better than the perimeter run game. They did a nice job in their 3-4, the overhang defenders, of being able to defend some of the perimeter run game. But we were able to crease them inside, especially on the last drive, so in overtime. And both guys are very effective inside runners. Kelvin's back was really sore from when he got speared on our sideline. But other than that, I was really pleased with what we did.
And then with the field goal with Austin, any reservation in your mind saying him out there, just game,
No.
Game on the line?
In
First of the
pregame,
year?
he hit 3 or 4 from 52, and went into the game knowing that we got in that situation, we certainly would be willing to take a shot.
Jeff, there.
Well, after last year, this was a team that really didn't get very many breaks. How much relief do you feel right now?
No, I just think we got a lot to work on. I don't really feel relief after games. I just, I look at it from a technical standpoint of we got to clean some things up in the back end, and our guys fought, and wasn't always pretty at times. More than anything, we missed some football in the Idaho game. We figured we'd give y'all a little extra shot, some ball. So it's paying the fans back,
And you mentioned the going through some adversity. Obviously, you went through a lot of that last year. How much of a difference did you feel tonight?
Well, I think that we're explosive enough offensively to get in a game like that and know we can make some plays. We gave up some things on the back end secondary-wise, but there was never we didn't blink on the side. We knew no matter if we got down 1 score, 2 scores, we're explosive enough offensively to go make some plays. And quite frankly, as we moved forward in the season last year, we weren't. And it's as a competitor, you don't want to ever admit something like that, but it's hard not to at times when you struggle to score 10 points.
Any final questions for Coach before we start the players? Thank you. We have
All righty, thank
Kevin
you.
Westbrook and Brian Poole over here. Westbrook is in the front row here. Stay right there. Stay right there. Guys, we're going to have Jeff at the podium here. He's ready to go.
It's getting late. I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get some sleep.
I guess first question: what's going through your mind playing? It was almost the delay of game in that overtime.
Well, first of all, I wanted to make sure that we were aligned. Not aligned properly, but aligned legally. We've been through situations like that where there's not enough time to really get organized. You got to call it at the line and make sure everyone's on the same page. So I think we did a good job of getting legal, and obviously D-Rob making a play, and I think the offensive line did a good job. When they heard me really clapping, saying let's go, get down their stance, and Max did a good job of getting the ball to me quick.
As you get 6, 7, 8 completions to Robinson, are you kind of thinking, hey, we've got something wrong here?
I don't really think you go into a game thinking, this guy's going to have a big day or anything like that. But I think he did a good job of getting open, and plays are set up based off looks, and they gave us the looks to go to him tonight, and he made the play, so I was going to keep going to him. I think on the deep balls, I didn't do a good enough job of giving them a chance down the field. We got on top of guys a few times, and that's something we'll get corrected. But right now, I'm not thinking about the misses. I'm thinking about the plays that we did make.
Jeff, can you just talk about Muschamp said that obviously there was some misprotections and things that the offensive line struggled with. What was it like from your standpoint, and do you feel like that was something that they got corrected in the second half?
I mean, we had a couple guys, obviously with DJ down, had to move some things around, and we had a couple miscommunications, but that's going to happen. I never lost my trust in the offensive line, never watched the rush or anything like that. So, I mean, it happens. You're gonna mess some things up, but at the end of the day, I trust those guys.
You were 7 for 20 for 116 in the first half. Third quarter, you were 10 for 13 for 114 and 2 touchdowns. What the switch for you?
I mean, sometimes when you get in a groove, you get in a groove. Like I said, missed some things early. Things weren't going good for us, but we never hung our head. We never got away from our game plan. So, sometimes when things aren't going your way, you got to keep moving forward, and that's what we did, and made the plays when we needed to.
How much did your heart race on that fourth down play in overtime? You were waiting for the ball to come.
I mean, it was exciting. That's kind of plays that you live for. I mean, especially when you make them. Obviously, easy to say that now, but you can't let the situation be too big. You gotta just go out and play football, and we were lucky enough to get the ball off and execute.
Were you thinking on that play, just let Marcus make a play on the ball?
Oh no, I was going to the short side. I saw they were pressed outside, so I was going to give whoever was in the slot a chance. It happened to be DeMarcus on that play.
That's Calvin Neal over here. It seemed like in the third quarter you got a little bit of what was kind of different compared to Matt Jones in the back.
I mean, I just missed a few guys. That happens. We took a lot of shots early, shots that we could have made. Like I said, I got to give those guys a chance down the field, and we'll get that corrected. But right now, I'm just happy we came out with a win against a really good team.
You rolling out yourself on that second overtime pass where DeMarcus did open drag across in the end zone. Hesitated a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that we were getting a different coverage than we did. I should have taken the flat early, got my eyes back inside, and when I got back out to DeMarcus, it was a little too late. I gave him a shot, but I missed that one. But we live to play the next play. I mean, I've always had confidence in the passing game. Whether it's Ahmad, whether it's Quentin, whether it's DeMarcus, whether it's Andre. We have some playmakers outside, and we got on top of people tonight. I just at times threw the ball out of bounds. I got to give those guys a chance to compete for the ball, and we'll get that corrected.
Final question for Jeff before we bring DeMarcus up.
Jeff, two completely different ways to start out, a blowout and then 3 overtimes. What do you learn from each game? How are they different?
I think that we got a mentally strong team. You didn't see guys hanging their heads on the sidelines. You saw guys that were competing and knowing that at the end of the game we had the players to make the plays and the coaches that were going to get us in the right situation. So I think that that was a good experience for us. We kind of know how overtime works now. So we might have to run into another one down the road. So it was a really big win against a quality team.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Mark, so you're ready like that?
No, sir. First of many.
As you're getting more practice, how's your confidence level?
Man, it's just growing as the game progresses.
Marcus, talk about that touchdown in overtime. I mean, your heart must be racing because the clock is counting down. And what are you seeing with the coverage, and were you expecting the ball on that play?
Man, I was kind of expecting the ball, but I just wanted Driscoll to give me a chance to make a play. And so, I mean, our blocking made great blocking, and Driscoll gave me a great ball.
It had to be just beautiful when you get the ball, get the ball. I mean, the receivers are greedy.
Yes, sir, I did. I had fun out there tonight.
On the one touchdown or the one play that looked like Driscoll kind of hesitated coming to you in overtime, you got frustrated after that. Take us through your kind of mindset after that.
Man, I did get a little frustrated. I seen him because I seen I got open, so I thought he was gonna see me. He looked at me, so I thought he was gonna throw it to me off the bat, but he hesitated. He hesitated a little bit, so I don't know. Just got a little frustrated. Yeah. We're good. Yeah. We good.
Threw the ball to him 21 times.
Marcus, I know you want to reflect a lot on last year, but at this point, last season, you were suspended. You didn't even play, what would have been the third game. Now you come out the third game of this year and set a school record. I mean, what is it just like to be where you were last year and where you are now?
Oh man, definitely had a bad season last year, but stayed focused and stayed humble through the past season and through the off time. Just trying to stay humble and stay connected with my teammates.
When were you told about the school record at all that you had said?
No. I don't know nothing about the school record.
You guys had a couple drops.
Yeah, I heard. I don't even know the record. I don't know nothing yet.
Chaz Green over here to the left.
1969.
Sir?
Most catches in a single game since 1969.
That's great.
You guys had a couple drops early.
Oh man, just happy, I guess.
You guys had a couple drops early. How much do you think those kind of affect the offense being able to get into a rhythm?
Oh man, definitely set us back a little bit. Drop definitely don't help us win the game. So.
On that fourth down touchdown catch of yours, you see the ball kind of just hanging in the air there, and what's going through your mind? You feel the pressure in this situation.
Just get close. Just come to me before the defender gets to me. I was just so happy that it dropped soon enough. Like it just fall quick enough. Just get in my hands.
Were you feeling pressure in that moment of the game, the weight of it?
I definitely was nervous at the time. Yes, sir.
What was the miscommunication about? There were some guys scrambling at the last second.
I really don't know. I have no idea.
Marcus, how important was it for the team to kind of stick with Jeff? Maybe struggle a little bit early on. They seem to get better as the game.
I mean, we're a team as it is. We just have to stay connected, stay humble, and stay well together. Not let nothing frustrate us. So.
After your strong start, just how did the confidence just keep building and building?
Oh man, I don't know. I say it was okay. Just being humble,
Couple final questions for Marcus.
You got behind the defense on that last touchdown. I think they asked you before. Does it seem like slow motion, that ball coming down?
It did. It seemed like a little slow motion, yeah.
Final question, guys. You guys all set? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, when they mentioned you guys go.